Top 20 Bank Teller Interview Questions and Answers. Banking sector is one of the busiest sectors in a nation. Of all public organizations, this industry is extremely crucial as it handles public money. Therefore, the job of a bank teller holds a responsible role. Candidates have to go through plenty of scrutiny and queries. So, here we'll discuss top 20 bank teller questions with answers for you to prepare for your interview. Read on. 1. Why are you interested in this role? Here, the hiring authority seeks to understand how motivated you are for this role. So, describe your desire and passion for this role and also mention your job experience. Sample answer. I joined as a junior cashier in a government bank right after my academic years were over. I worked there for 3 long years and learned all the basics about the banking sector. Apart from that, I have always been a keen admirer of the public sector professions as both my parents are civil servants. With growing years, I grew my passion towards accounts and banking. And that passion never left me. 2. What are the roles of a bank teller? With this question, the interviewer wants to know how informed you are to suit this role. So, answer all the various roles a bank teller needs to perform for his job. Sample answer. The primary role of a bank teller is to handle the clients and their transactions. The job of a bank teller is to undergo seamless cash transfer, deposits, and withdrawals from the clients. Apart from that, converting checks to cash, providing account services to the customers, and issuing saving accounts, salary accounts, pension processing are also parts of the bank teller's job. 3. What are the qualities that a bank teller need to be successful? This is an important question. Here, the recruiter wants to know how knowledgeable you are for this role. So, highlight all major qualities a bank teller needs to have in order to become successful. Sample answer. A bank teller needs far more qualities than just academic excellence. This sector is the most essential sector as it handles public money. So, the prime quality that a bank teller must have is an efficient knowledge of accounts. Undivided attention is another quality that the job needs. Since the job role indicates that a bank teller would be handling so much money, she needs to have a calm mind with a lot of patience to handle clients. 4. What major challenges did you face during your last role? How did you manage them? Through this query, the recruiter wants to know about your techniques to solve critical issues. So, answer this question tactfully. Describe an incident where you faced a major challenge and what techniques you used to solve it. Sample answer. In my first job, I was a naive newbie in the cubicle who barely knew the tricks and tactics to handle different clients. I stumbled upon a client who passed me on a bunch of fake notes. Initially, I did accept the money with a skeptical mind as I assumed something fishy. My eyes were inexperienced enough to not identify fake cash with a glance. But as soon as I double-checked the bunch of notes, a few fake notes came out. I handled the situation without taking the matter to the higher authority and politely told the man to take the money back. He listened to me and left the bank without depositing the cash. 5. Describe your daily routine as a bank teller. With this question, the hiring authority wishes to know about your organizing skills and how you will schedule your daily routine. So, describe all the day-to-day duties you need to perform as a bank teller. Sample answer. The daily routine of a bank teller is pretty interesting. As a bank teller, my first task would be to collect all the deposit slips from the desk and update them. Besides that, I would deal with the customers in the queue, and perform the cash and check deposits, withdrawals, transactions, transfer of cash, etc. I would also take care of the ATM deposit, help customers to have their money deposit seamless. At the end of the business day, I would count the bank's hearing and balance amounts before leaving. 6. Describe briefly about your experience. You will hear this question in most job interview sessions. Here the recruiter wishes to know about your professional work experience. So, mention how long you were working in this profession as well as the banks that you previously served. Sample answer. During my master's in accounting years, I did an internship at a private bank. After finishing my education, I joined as a junior cashier at the United Bank of India. I worked there for 3 years and gained all the practical knowledge about how the banking sector works. I learned about the critical aspects of handling public money and the efficient ways to preserve them. After that, I switched my job to a non-government bank and joined there as the senior cashier. I worked there for 2 years and gained further knowledge about the responsibilities of a cashier. 7. What kind of mindset and strategies required for this role? Here, the hiring authority wants to know how a bank teller should develop her mindset and strategies. So, describe how you acquired the right mindset and strategies through your years of professional experience. Sample answer. The job role of a bank teller indicates that the individual needs to have a prompt analytical mind along with an immense passion for accounting. The primary strategy to excel in this field is hard work and concentration. Apart from that, a clear mind with transparent knowledge of banking terms and conditions is another essential mindset for this role. A great deal of honesty and patience would help excel further as a bank teller. 8. What is the biggest challenge that you foresee in this job? This is a critical question. Here, the interviewer seeks to understand how gracefully you perceive challenges. So, before going for the interview, do your research and make yourself knowledgeable about the company. Sample answer. Honestly, every job comes with its own set of challenges, whether major or minor. I consider myself as a born risk taker. I love challenges. So, as a responsible employee of your esteemed organization, I would try my utmost to face any challenge with confidence and conviction. However, I have done a thorough research about your bank before appearing for the interview. I am yet to stumble upon a challenge that seems difficult. I am looking forward to working here and finding out the big challenges to face. 9. How do you stay motivated in your work? With this question, the hiring authority desires to know about the process that you use to keep yourself motivated in your professional career. So, mention all the techniques you use to stay motivated for your job. Sample answer. Passion is the ultimate motivation, is what I believe. If you take on something with complete passion, you wouldn't need an external driving force. I am extremely passionate about accounting and calculation is my second nature. Therefore, my passion drives me every day to achieve what I am aiming at. However, not every day goes the same. During days when I feel the lack of motivation, I turn to books about achievers and famous personalities who conquered the world despite challenges. This is where I draw my motivation from. 10. Describe a time when you failed in this role and the lesson you learnt. This is another important question. Here, the recruiter checks your courage to accept failure and embrace it as a learning experience. So, handle this question carefully, mention an incident where you faced such a problem, but try to focus on the positive side. Sample answer. During my first job as a junior cashier, I was going to count the balance for the first time. I was new in the field and I had never handled a large amount of public money ever before. Out of nervousness, I was making mistakes during the counting. For about 13 times I had lost count and came up with different results. I was nervous to a point where my boss started doubting my capabilities. Then, I calmed my nerves, took a deep breath and started counting for the 14th time, and fortunately it was the last time. I would have been fired had it not been my first time. From this incident, I learned the virtue of patience and concentration. 11. Why do you feel you are the most suited for this role? This question aims at your credibility for the job. Here, the interviewer simply questions why they should hire you in the first place. So, mention all your work experience and try to focus on those points that will put you in a desirable position. Sample answer. With 3 years of experience as a junior cashier and further 2 years as a senior cashier, I have learned the banking industry by bits and pieces. With several ups and downs and mistakes, I learned the virtue of patience, perseverance, focus, and persistence. I have a fair amount of communication skill, and I'm fluent in customer services. Apart from such experiences, I am a keen aspirant in banking and public sectors. I put my work ethics and discipline before everything. 12. Share with us your greatest achievement. This is another common question among interview sessions. The recruiter wishes to know about your greatest achievement in your professional career. So, mention an incident that you consider your greatest achievement so far in your job life. Sample answer. During my last job as a senior cashier, I witnessed a change in government policy that indicated a currency ban. The whole banking sector was about to crash with extreme workload and public pouring in for endless money exchanges. As the responsible shareholder, I directed my team to deal with patience, and my relentless efforts saved our bank from crashing. 13. As a bank teller, how do you perceive customer service? With this question, the hiring authority wants to know your thoughts on customer service is an important skill to acquire. So, answer this question using your experience and mention the importance of customer service. Sample answer. I strongly believe maintaining good customer service is one of the vital responsibilities of a bank teller. When a customer arrives seeking help regarding certain issues, a bank teller should help guide him or her with patience. In some cases, the customers might be in a bad mindset, but the bank teller must handle the situation calmly. In fact, without good service, the customers might opt for other banking options. 14. Do you feel comfortable handling massive amounts of cash? Since handling a substantial amount of cash is part of a bank teller's job, with this question, the recruiter wants to verify your credibility for the role. So, answer this question using all the knowledge and experience you gathered over the years. Sample answer. Some people get nervous and worried while handling a large amount of cash. But I don't feel the pressure in my mind anymore. I know it's part of my job, so I have to do it. Ever since my first job occurred, I learned to deal with large amounts, and now I don't feel any trouble with money handling. However, I believe that while dealing with public capital, a person should be careful and check his/her calculations. 15. How will you identify fake cash and fraudulent checks? This is another question that checks your credibility for this role. The hiring authority wants to know how you will determine fake cash and checks. So, mention all the techniques you use to identify fake money and checks. Sample answer. In my previous job, I had an encounter with feigned money when a person was depositing cash in the bank. So, I know how to spot certain discrepancies while checking the money visually. For example, the denominational number with rupees sign on the right of the note, the Ashoka pillar, the number's colors change from green to blue, and more. However, for checks, I generally look for the logo of the bank. If the logo is faded or missing, then the check is fake. 16. How would you ensure a great customer dealing? With this question, the recruiter wants to understand your views regarding excellent customer dealing. So, describe how a great customer dealing scenario looks like and how you would achieve it. Sample answer. Being a customer myself, I understand the importance of friendly gestures and a positive attitude while talking with customers. But, that's not the only factor behind a great customer dealing. I think dealing with a customer is not only about serving his/her needs, it is also about anticipating the issues before he/she seeks help. So, if I get my chance to join your prestigious organization, I will serve a customer's requirements as well as his/her expectations. 17. How will you deal with an angry customer? This is a tricky question. Here, the recruiter wants to know how effectively you can apply your problem-solving skills in a pressure situation. So, mention the techniques you use to handle a critical situation with a real-life incident. Sample answer. I faced such an incident while performing my job in my previous company. A customer came in with a complaint that the bank had miscalculated his cash deposit. He was furious, and his anger was justifiable since it was a substantial amount of money. Being a senior teller, I had to handle this situation. So, I heard his complaint patiently and told him to calm down. I even assured him no matter what miscalculation had occurred, I would help him out. Thankfully, the issue got resolved without creating any further hurdles. 18. Tell me something about your greatest weakness. Here, the hiring authority wants to know about your greatest weakness. But, tactfully handle this question and keep the spotlight on your strengths. Sample answer. I must admit that I am not spontaneous with my work. I like to prepare for my job in advance to avoid any awkward situations. Also, I have a habit of focusing on minute details, which is important for my work. But my energy gets drained out because of that. 19. What do you think about work pressure and how you handle it? The interviewer seeks to know your thoughts regarding work pressure and the techniques you use to handle it. So, highlight your tactics to cope up with work pressure. Sample answer. Being a professional for several years, I understand the importance of work pressure. However, in such situations, I try to concentrate on the work instead of panicking, as it can lead to disastrous results. Since I practice meditation, it helps me to have a calm mind. 20. What are your thoughts on multitasking? The hiring authority seeks to understand your definition of multitasking. So, mention the importance of multitasking in your job role. Sample answer. Multitasking is an essential ingredient behind a successful bank teller. With multitasking, I can enhance my productivity and incorporate more work into my daily routine. In fact, it helps me to work on several topics simultaneously. I also believe multitasking allows people to stay motivated